Wait, what? A web interface to the patrol agent? Before going deep into the subject, it is important to understand what is natively covered by BMC TrueSight Operations Management and what is not. As you can see on this slide, TrueSight Operations Management comes with pre-built knowledge modules. To cover any other technology or application, you can rely on Monitoring Studio. What is Monitoring Studio? Well, Monitoring Studio is a powerful monitoring toolkit that can be installed like any regular knowledge module. In a few clicks, you can define what needs to be monitored. But there is one cloud on the horizon. Monitoring Studio works perfectly well in the patrol consoles, but things get more complicated when used in TrueSight. We have to admit, Monitoring Studio and TrueSight do not really get on well, and you've been complaining about it. So, we decided to make a move and develop a revolutionary web user interface that would interact with the patrol agent. Our wish list was pretty long. We wanted a modern and responsive UI that will allow you to easily configure the patrol agent, the KMs, and TrueSight integration. And because problems may always occur, we wanted to make sure you had all the troubleshooting tools at your fingertips. And we did it. We developed a modern and responsive UI with the most popular front-end and back-end technologies for both the patrol agent and Monitoring Studio. This web interface consolidates all the configuration and troubleshooting tools into one place, and it natively integrates with TrueSight Operations Management. But enough of the marketing speech. Let's see how it works. The Monitoring Studio web interface consists of the console, events, studio, agent, and tools pages. The console page displays all the objects discovered by one patrol agent and their current status. Additional information is available when selecting a specific instance. Here, we can see the attributes and parameters of the Windows Operating System KM instance. Here are the instances of the processors class. In our example, we can also see that the services class is in alarm state. To have more information about this problem, we can display the events page. The events page provides details about all the information, error, warning, and alarm events generated by the patrol agent. We can, for example, know when the event was generated, what its current status is, and have a description of the problem. Several options are available to filter the results. To only display the events generated for the services class, we can choose to only display the alarm type of events or enter NT services in the search field. We then just have to click the relevant event to display its details. At this point, we can comment the event and choose to acknowledge, close, or delete it. In this example, we can see that our administrator said that there is nothing to be worried about. We can therefore close the event. We saw the console and the events pages. Now let's see the features offered by the agent page. The agent page, as its name suggests, provides any relevant information about the patrol agent, such as its version, the port it is running on, the operating system, etc. From this page, we can also preview and download the patrol agent log file. There's no need to connect to the machine where the patrol agent is installed anymore to access the log files. That's fantastic. And that's not all. From the agent menu, we can also access patrol agent settings. All basic configuration operations are available in this page. We can configure the default account, define the access control list, indicate which KMs are preloaded, configure TrueSight integration, etc. The HTTP server is not left behind and can also be configured from the agent menu. Several options are available. We can more especially enable or disable the HTTP server, configure the authentication and advanced settings, and restart the JVM. The JVM is not the only thing we can restart from the web interface. The patrol agent can be restarted too, and there's nothing to be afraid of. The patrol agent restart will not disable the web interface, and Monitoring Studio will be automatically preloaded. Everything will work as expected. We have just discovered the different configuration menus. Let's see what the Tools menu can offer. Let's start with a feature that you've long been waiting for, the ability to enable debug, and download the log file from one point. This is now possible with Monitoring Studio 10. And that's not all. The configuration can be easily backed up, restored, and Advanced Patrol users can override tons of settings through the configuration hacker. Finally, all the patrol processes can also be viewed in this new web interface. We have looked at the console, events, agent, and tools pages. Before moving to the Studio page, let's present the Monitoring Studio's general concepts. The Monitoring Studio hierarchy can be represented as follows. Hosts provide information about the target server, local or remote, where the technology to be monitored is running. Hosts are the highest level of hierarchy and contain none, one, or several templates. Templates correspond to the technology you need to monitor. Arranged under the host instance, they contain the list of monitors and credentials required to assess the health and performance of the targeted technology or application. Templates can be attached to none, one, or several hosts. Monitors are arranged under the template and correspond to the monitoring actions to be performed by Monitoring Studio. In this new version, you can configure the monitoring of any application in the Studio page and visualize your monitoring in the console page. To configure your application's monitoring, you just have to define the host on which the technology or application to be monitored is installed, create the templates to monitor the technology or application, and apply these templates to the relevant hosts. Let's see some of the monitors that can be created in a template. Let's start with the basic but still important process monitor. Configuring this monitor is quick and easy. You just have to specify the display name and the process name to immediately have the process monitored. Additional properties are available to fine-tune your monitoring. You can, for example, decide whether child processes will be included in the calculation of the process performance, indicate which parameters should be available, and if alerts should be triggered when a specific threshold is breached. Another powerful feature has been implemented in Monitoring Studio 10, the dry run feature. This feature allows you to simulate the execution of the monitor on a specific host to ensure your configuration is correct. This will help you save a tremendous amount of time. And here's how the Java process monitoring we configured appears in the console. All the parameters are displayed in one page, and you can see at a glance their status, value, units, and a preview of the graph. Now, let's see the Windows Service Monitor. For this demo, we configured the monitoring of a Windows firewall by simply specifying the service name. We could have gone even further and indicate the value of the status parameter for each possible state, but finally decided to present this feature in another video. Here is what we obtained in the console page. We configured the monitoring of the Java process and of the Windows firewall. We could not leave our file system unmonitored on our demo platform, so we configured Monitoring Studio to monitor the C file system and kept the default settings as is. We could have enabled the Consume Capacity Growth Percentage and Consume Capacity Growth Speed parameters as well, but this was not the issue that we were concerned about at the time. Everything in its own time. We will be able to review these settings anytime later. How nice it looks in the console, doesn't it? Now that we've shown you some basic monitors, let's present more advanced ones. Even though the adjective advanced is relative since the configuration is really easy with Monitoring Studio 10. To configure window events, and more precisely the system events, we simply indicated the event log to parse and the event source. With just these two properties set, you can have any Windows event monitored. To be able to show you how the alerts look, we configured Monitoring Studio to trigger an alarm when at least one information event was found. Since one information event was found by Monitoring Studio, the event instance immediately appeared in red in the console. For our next example, we choose to monitor the Downloads folder to be informed as soon as a file was downloaded. As soon as someone downloads a file on this host, the file count parameter increases, and a warning is triggered. No one will ever be able to download files on our demo platform without us knowing it. We will be informed instantly. Now imagine that we have a log file that is automatically fed as soon as someone downloads one of our products from our website, and that we want Monitoring Studio to tell us how many products are downloaded. To achieve this, we first configure the file monitor to indicate to Monitoring Studio where the log file is stored. We can even ask Monitoring Studio to extract a specific value in this file. In our example, we extracted the count that is stored on the third column of the file. And that's it. We have the information we need in the console. We saw that we can extract any numeric value from a log file, but that's not all. Monitoring Studio can also search for specific strings. To show you how the string search works, we configured Monitoring Studio to monitor the patrol agent log file. Since failure is written to the patrol agent log file as soon as an error occurs, we asked Monitoring Studio to search for this specific string, to count the number of occurrences, and to generate an alarm as soon as one occurrence was found. In our example, there were 52 lines that contained the string failure. This instance was therefore displayed in red to indicate that it was in alarm state. To have more information about this failure, we clicked on the failure string instance to view the last matching lines. As you can see, the reported failure was due to invalid credentials. We hope that you liked this small demo. Now that you saw what Monitoring Studio 10 looks like, let's see how it works. Monitoring Studio 10 and Patrol Agent need to be installed on a test system. On the test environment, you can configure and design your monitoring templates. When the template is ready, you just have to export it from the web interface and import it into any CMA policy in TrueSight. Once there, you just have to deploy Monitoring Studio 10 and your policy to the relevant production systems. Monitoring will either be remote or local. Any troubleshooting and diagnosis operation will be performed on the production environment from the Monitoring Studio 10 web interface. Since the objective of Monitoring Studio 10 is to make the configuration of any technology easier in TrueSight, the deployment in TrueSight has been limited to the 4 simple steps. In the web interface of Monitoring Studio, you first create the template. Once it is created, you export it as a CFG file. You then switch to the TrueSight interface and import the template into a policy, and configure the hosts that will use this template. Quick and easy. And icing on the cake, Monitoring Studio administers, interrogates, and interacts in real time with the patrol agent through a REST API. Many functions are available to authenticate, encrypt, get information, set configuration, etc. In conclusion, Monitoring Studio is a real modern interface. We hope that you will like it.